Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of AndrewsFootball.com. Welcome to my NFL Draft Review. Now, instead of making a video that's about 2 to 3 hours long, I cut it down into sections of 8. So I'm going to have 8 separate videos broken down by NFL division. Now, if you're new to my channel, I just got to ask you one simple question. Do you like talking football? Because if you do, you're in the right place. Ultimately, I'm making these videos to start a discussion with you. I want to hear what you think here. I'm offering my opinion. Give me a comment below and let me know what you're thinking. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What did I fuck up on? Don't forget, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, there's a button right around here. See it, the little subscribe button. Bam! Hit that button. Become one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Now, let's start the show. Welcome to my AFC North edition of my draft review. And first off, I'm going to start with the team that picked first. And let's go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I gave them a B-. Keep in mind Burrow and Higgins. I'm not going to talk too much about those two picks. Those are players you pretty much had to draft. You needed a quarterback. You needed a wide receiver, so you made those picks. I think a lot's already been said about both draft selections. The next 3 picks I thought were really, really good. Now, Logan Wilson in the 3rd round, a lot of people saw him as a 3-4 inside linebacker. For this team who's going to use him as a 4-3 middle linebacker, probably a day 1 starter, I thought was a great fit because you're in a run-heavy division. 3 teams that are going to run the ball constantly and succeeded in running the ball against you. I thought getting a linebacker like this was really good in the 3rd round, but the player I liked the most was Akeem Davis-Gaither in the 4th round. A lot of mock drafts had him going in the 2nd round. A lot of drafts had him going in 2nd or 3rd. You get him in the top of the 4th. This is a guy you could potentially have your 2 starting linebackers day 1 with your 3rd and 4th picks in the draft. In the 5th round, you drafted a Kareem out of Khalid Kareem out of Notre Dame. I liked him a lot more than most people did. I think he could end up being a surprise starter either down the line, could contribute some this year. The big question in this draft, or the obvious ones, is Joe Burrow going to be more like Carson Palmer or David Klingler? Is Higgins is somebody who didn't test well? Will that production they showed at Clemson going to show up in the NFL? Those are the obvious ones. I loved the linebacker picks. Both those guys could be day 1 starters. So all in all, I have to give Cincinnati a B-. It'll be interesting to see how the first 2 picks produce, but their 3rd and 4th round picks, both of them could be day 1 starters. I think really help your defense. I love those 2 picks. I'm going to do Pittsburgh next, and I'm giving them a C+. And part of this draft grade is due to the fact you basically gave up the first pick in the draft for Minkah Fitzpatrick, who looks like he's going to be a Pro Bowl safety. And that's a great pick. If your first round pick ends up being a Pro Bowl safety, that's great. You got Chase Claypool in round 2. Now, here's the deal. He's 6'4", 238, runs a 4.42. And by the way, I wasn't talking about Isaiah Simmons, who's also 6'4", 238, except he ran a 4.39, and he's the best athlete in the draft. So you have somebody who's got the same size, height, weight, and almost same 40 time as the best athlete in the draft. So that's a pretty damn good athlete. And he was productive at Notre Dame, but nobody ever said that this is going to be a natural wide receiver. Now, if you can extract all this potential, then this is going to be great, but it's a big work in progress. Matter of fact, coming into the draft, a lot of people thought he could play tight end because of his size. Alex Highsmith was a player I absolutely loved for Pittsburgh. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts either this year or next year. It's late in the 3rd rounds where most teams had him going, but for Pittsburgh, it's a great fit. They drafted a pair of Maryland players who I really like. McFarland's your classic 3rd down back. Now, you already have Connor, Samuel, and Sneal already on your roster. So getting this guy in the 4th round, he's going to make the team because he can do some things that these other guys really can't. And then your 6th round pick out of Maryland, this guy Brooks, now he's 220 pounds. Now he only runs a 4.65. He's your classic stereotypical strong safety. Bringing up a 6th round pick I normally wouldn't do, but I think that he'll actually produce in 2020. He's just prototypical box safety. And in this division where you got teams that really want to run the ball, you need a guy like this. So I think that even though he's a 6th round pick, this may be my favorite pick out of all the picks the Steelers make, because this guy's going to make the team. And I think he's going to produce in 2020. Bottom line, Thanks to Minka Fitzpatrick, it raises the grade all the way up to a C+. But out of your top 100 selections, you only have one, and use it for Chase Claypool, who's a guy who isn't really even ready to play in 2020. I mean, you need to teach him how to run routes, catch the football, become a wide receiver. So it's really raw, and I have a hard time thinking he's really going to produce. So taking a guy when you only have one selection, your top 100 picks, who's not even ready in 2020, it's really hard for me to get on board on really falling in love with this draft, despite how good Minka Fitzpatrick is this first year in Pittsburgh. This feels so weird, but I loved Cleveland's draft. I actually gave them an A-. First off, instead of panicking, they stayed at 10 and got the best tackle in the draft. They could have panicked once they saw Wills dropping, traded up and got him, and I still would have given this a good grade. It would have been actually smart if they were to trade up, but here they are. They get the number one tackle in the draft. At least he was my number one tackle, and you get him at 10. That was brilliant. This is a very underrated but smart thing in the second round. They traded down a few spots to get an extra fifth round pick, and you ended up getting Nick Harris, a two-time all Pac-12 center. I love Nick Harris, and I love him going to Cleveland. He may end up being a starter for Cleveland, maybe not as a rookie, but maybe year two. This is a guy who definitely could end up starting. Very underrated move. When you move down a couple spots, you ended up getting Grant Delpit, who's the player you were going to take anyway. You move down and you get another guy who could be a starter in round 5. Very underrated, very smart move. And then you get Grant Delpit, who, you know, before the season started, everybody thought this is going to be a top 10 player. I love him going to Cleveland because he teams up with a couple LSU guys, including his old teammate Greedy Williams, who's playing corner. So I absolutely love this pick at Grant Delpit, but it's even better that you traded down. You still got Delpit, but you also get another pick in the 5th round. It's a very underrated move that Browns aren't going to catch on to because they're not used to it, because that's a move that winning organizations make. That's something you haven't done in the past. And then this was brilliant. You get Donovan Peoples-Jones with the last pick in the draft, and this is a guy you should have gone 3rd, 4th round. You get him in your last pick. You get him in the 6th round. So there's huge upside, no risk. And if those of you don't know, this was the number one wide receiver coming out of high school, higher than Jerry Jeudy, higher than CeeDee Lamb. And here's the thing, after 1 or 2 mini camps, everybody's going to see that he's actually a better athlete, just athlete, not receiver, better athlete than either Jarvis Landry or Odell Beckham Jr. This is a better athlete. The problem is production never got there. There are some quarterback issues with the Michigan. He also got labeled as lazy. Cleveland's a perfect spot because let's say you don't like Landry or Odell Beckham, you can't fault their work ethic. You can't fault their work ethic. So early on, he's going to see that he's just as good of an athlete as these guys. And if he catches on to that work ethic, this is a superstar. And it's doubtful he's ever going to develop the hands, because both these guys got excellent hands. That's something Donovan Peoples-Jones doesn't have. But as a pure athlete, he's just as good, if he's actually a better athlete. So I love this pick because here's the thing. There's nothing but reward, huge upside. And it's a 6th round pick. It doesn't work out. He shows that he's not that much into football. You just get rid of him and you don't think anything of it. Great draft by the Cleveland Browns. Even though Cleveland had a great draft, the AFC North Draft winner goes to the Baltimore Ravens. And I gave the Ravens an A+, and they may have had the best draft of any team. And I'm going to factor into this that they gave up a 5th round pick during midseason for Marcus Peters. It was a pick in this draft, so that's part of it. Calais Campbell was a 5th round pick. You shipped off Hayden Hurst, who ended up being a backup tight end, for a 2nd and a 5th. That's a good move. Now, granted, he was a 1st round pick, but he was a backup, so getting a 2nd and a 5th for him was genius. I can argue even before the draft started they deserved an A grade. But your biggest need going into this draft was linebacker. Well, you get Patrick Queen at 28. Not only is it great value, it's a position of need. Malik Harrison in the third round, late in the third round, he's your classic 3-4 inside linebacker. Great fit, great value. J.K. Dobbins, your running back that you picked at pick number 55 in the second round. You could have traded up in the second round. You had draft capital to do so. Got him at like 35 or 40. I would have said it's a great move. You get him at 55. That's an absolute steal. Tyree Phillips, the 42nd pick in the third round. He played tackle, a road grader at Mississippi State. He's going to move inside the guard. Could be your day one starter. Here's the thing about all these draft picks is not only getting great value, they fit into what the Ravens want to do. Every single one of these players is a great value and a great fit. It's really rare when you have both those things come together. And then in the sixth round, you get one of my favorite players, James Prochet. He's going to make the team and he's going to contribute. He's going to help you out on third down. Ravens fans are really going to love this kid because he's going to make some key plays. I love this kid. In most wide receiver drafts, he would probably go like third or fourth round. This one, he goes in the sixth. Ravens just crushed this draft. I could argue that they had the best draft of any NFL team. Lots of value, lots of fit, and then some really smart pre-trade decisions to bring in some real key veterans for excellent spots. Kudos to the Baltimore Ravens, who absolutely deserve an A+ in this draft. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Let me know what your opinion is. Drop a comment below. I'm offering you what my opinion is, but I want to know what you think. Ultimately, this video was created so I can have a conversation with you. I got my opinion now. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends. And hey, I'll see you next time.